Hi there and welcome. This is Roger V, founder of SwiftCloud, and in this quick video I want to show you how we can help real estate professionals. In this video specifically mortgage professionals, but I think some of this is also going to be applicable to realtors, to real estate investors, and people in that space. And even if you're not in either of those, you will certainly get some ideas from this video on what you can do for your own business, because you'll see how things are operating. Here I am in SwiftCloud. In all of our applications, you can always hover over the menu, the logo, and jump to the other tools that we have in the suite. And all of these tools are carefully tied together and fully integrated so that you can use Swift Marketing to generate leads and then push those leads over to the CRM. And then once you have a deal in place, you can manage the transaction. For example, a real estate transaction in Swift Tasks. That'll do all your transaction management, including storing docs and stuff like that. SwiftBooks is, of course, accounting. Radar is a dashboard and a web monitor, also useful for lead generation and prospect generation. And SwiftForm is just to generate web forms, which will tie back into any of the rest of these things. So let's start off with Swift Radar. And in this case, what we want to do is, I'm setting this up for a mortgage professional. I thought, all right, I'll just record it and give you guys some useful information. Maybe it'll help you. We are continuing to refine this, and we're going to add more different view types, but right now we've got really one main view type, which is a simple list type view, and if you click on it, what it'll do is it'll bring up the actual prospect. So let me show you what I mean by this. What you do is you go to data. So when you first open your Swift Radar account, you're going to see home and data and nothing else. And each of these are customizable, including the home page. In the case of homepage, what I've done is just now set up alerts about this guy's brand, about this client's brand. So I go here to something like Google Alerts, and all you have to do is just go to google.com/alerts, google.com/alerts to get to Google Alerts. And you'll get to a tool that's like this, and it's free. So we're going to type in Morningstar Mortgage. I have already done it. And we're going to change this to everything, and we're going to change this to, we just want English, we want any region, and we want all results. It's going to give me a bunch of results here, and we want to push that into the feed. Now, because none of this is new, this client has not published any recent blog posts or anything like that. Nothing's actually going to show in the feed, but what I want to do is hit that to the feed. Because I've already created this feed, I'm going to abort this, but I'm going to hit Manage My Leads. And you'll see that it goes over here to Feed. So what I'm going to do is right-click, Alt-click if you're on a Mac, just hit Copy Link Address. And what you want is the copy link address for the actual feed. You're going to go over here back into Swift Radar, go to Data, go to Sources and Feeds, and what we're going to do is drop this to Home, and then add that to the RSS feed here, which is the possible feed type. We're going to add that in. Now what that's going to do is anytime anyone mentions the phrase, the exact phrase Morningstar Mortgage anywhere, be it in another blog post or be it in a press article, be it in a news station, you're hoping of course that you're getting some press, but in order to do that you have to give them a news story, right? And they're not going to just run an ad like, oh, you're giving 50% off. That's advertising. That's not a news story. If you do something truly newsworthy, though, and you get some press, which could be doing things like charity events, could be doing live events, those sorts of things, or unusual circumstances that truly are press-worthy, then you would get some press and it would show up here. So it's a good way to kind of keep an eye on your brand and what people are talking about and that sort of thing. We are also continuing to add more data sources. So what you could do is very soon you'll see Facebook in here, and you could see other people talking about your Facebook page or your Facebook brand. Already Twitter is working, so you could definitely, you need to connect to Twitter because we're going to use your channel. Currently you can only follow Twitter IDs. We're working on phrases and stuff like that. For now it's any RSS feed, but any RSS feed includes Google Alerts, and you can also use things like Craigslist. So let's go to some of these other pages. In this case, this client does reverse mortgages. So what I've done is gone over to Craigslist, and I just search here in the very top left for, let's say, the word retiring. As soon as I do that, I'm going to go down here, and in the very bottom right of this screen, you'll see an RSS feed. I'm going to right click on that and copy link address, right? So let me move that in so you can see it. So I'm going to go copy link address. So I take that feed over back to Radar, and I go over here to sources and feeds, drop this to retiring RM leads, and I paste that here. I've already done it, but basically you just right click, paste, something like that, right? I don't want to do that because I've already set it up. I'm also going to blacklist out, which will disqualify the record, phrases fine art limited edition, because that's going to probably apply to toys. Sometimes people talk about Beanie Babies and now they're retiring it and it's worth more money or something like that, and so they say limited edition or they say fine art. It's not going to be perfect, but I am trying to find people who are retiring, and it is a good source of free leads. And so anyway, I just want to display this in Swift Radar. In the near future, we'll set this to also email you, and we could also set it to push over to Swift Marketing or to Swift CRM if you're going to actually pick up the phone. Now, Swift CRM is for active deals that you're really chasing and you're willing to pick up the phone and call. Swift Marketing is really designed for just marketing. If you're just going to be sending them stuff, now you could be sending them anything. You could be sending them snail mail or putting them into a sequence. Our sequences are really powerful and allow you to send out emails, phone messages, and also the snail mail, right? So you can actually send out postal mail, and it'll either prompt you to mail it, or we're working on an API. The API is not hooked up yet, but we will prompt you to mail somebody something. Anyway, so if you go back here to the retiring page, you'll see there's lots of people retiring, right? This guy, the owner's retiring. So this might be something that you could just contact them and say, hey, I've got a different source of financing. I don't know if you're just doing this to get the money, but if you want to keep it, you could just hire, keep your staff in place, and you've got a bunch of different really businesses for sale more than anything. But in some cases, some of these people might want to keep it, and they simply just need the capital, right? And so you could provide them a reverse mortgage and let them keep the business. And these are going to pop up over here, right? So we're going to pop that up, and let's see, over vending route, okay, sort of thing, right? Contact them, just hire somebody to keep it if they know that it's profitable. This way they could keep the cash flow from it. Some of those people will be interested, some of them won't, but hey, it's a free source of leads. Let's take a look at FizzBows. What I've done over here is gone to Craigslist, and every single Craigslist page has a RSS feed. So I search for sale by owner, that exact phrase, and then what I do is I go to data and drop this down to FizzBows, right? If I wanted to create a new page, you would just hit add new. It's going to ask you, okay, what's the page name? In this case, I'm going to go over here to FizzBows, and what I want to do is actually two different feeds. The system is going to recognize duplicates, so don't worry about that. Again, right click, copy link address, paste that feed into this system. If you wanted to blacklist out, let's say real estate agent, or owner has, or let's say real estate license, meaning if the seller is actually licensed. Now in this case I don't want to do that because this client is a mortgage lender, so he's not afraid of working with realtors. But if you were a realtor, you'd probably want to block out things like real estate agent. Now if you put something in quotes, so if you use the blacklist, any phrase, this is different, real estate will block out either the word real or the word estate, whereas real estate in quotes has to be there exactly as you see it. So make sure and use the quotes judiciously as you see fit, and blacklist will disqualify any incoming record based on these phrases being present. If you whitelist, it'll blacklist everything that doesn't contain the whitelisted phrase. So if you wanted to find real estate desperate, let's say you wanted to find desperate sellers, so you could put something like must sell, right, or must sell by even as your whitelist, and it would only show you phrases on Craigslist in the real estate section. So what you could do is go here to, in this case, Orange County, go to real estate for sale. We'll just look for must sell, which is actually going to be a lot more records, so we don't need both. So we could just replace this, hit Control V for paste, and we will hit update. It's going to think, do the initial scrape. It's going to import all the records that are in this RSS feed. If you actually click on the RSS feed, you'll see the raw computer data. RSS is just a way for computers to talk to other computers. And you'll see now we should have a bunch of records. We might actually have too many. And we are starting to allow batch operations, right? So in this case, we can check all, or we can just check a bunch. And we are just hooking this up. This will allow you to delete those first couple records. That's okay. That's fine. All right, and those two were deleted. This is where you can export it to a Swift marketing record. Craigslist is now blocking email, but other RSS feeds, if there's an email address, we will automatically detect it. Same with phone and even the word fax. And the word fax is just looking for a phone number with the word fax next to it. And it's pretty reliable. However, Craigslist is currently hiding that. But faxes will still show up on job searches all the time. So if you're in B2B marketing, that can be very handy. Just make sure that you're fax compliant. We're not involved in that, so we're not going to protect you legally if you are violating fax spam laws. So there you have it. I think you get the basic idea of Swift Radar. What it can do is monitor the web and create leads for you. And we're going to continue to make those easier to push over into the other applications.